Okay, so I guess I didn't start taking a video, but I decided this is mid-August, and so I wanted to get an update of how things are progressing in my little shade garden. This is pretty much what I envisioned when I decided to bury my old lamp that stopped working, and it had the same shape lampshade as that little cement. I made the little cement top out of I used the mold of the lampshade to make that little cement top so I could plant succulents in it. I think that looks so pretty up there. And then with this hyacinth bean growing on it, should get purple flowers pretty soon. This is gosh, what is it called? It was really tiny when I first got it, but it grows really fast. And we put it on burns. Well, I'm sure you know what that is. I can't remember the name. This is an asparagus fern in a pot that I made. I think that's really pretty. I underplanted it with you can't even see it, but I underplanted it with some sedum. And I think it kind of holds it up pretty, so I kind of like that combination, even though I can't really see it. And here's some more sedum. And this is the Hypertufa planter I made. And I just potted that up with succulents. This is a lily that's supposed to like the shade. I just filled that up with sedum because sedum just grows so fast, and I didn't have anything else to put in such a shallow dish. I made that one too. And this is this first year, and I'm really worried about it. It's not looking too great, but I'm just hoping it'll be like a lot of my other plants, that the first year they don't do too well, and then after that they do pretty good. This is a blueberry that was out. I had to transplant it because it was not doing well at all. It was in full sun, and it apparently didn't like the full sun, but it's really doing a lot better than it was. It was just almost dead, so we've got some green. Looks much greener, much better. I planted some of my boxwood that I had propagated, and they grew roots, and I'm just healing them in here until I can get them potted up. And this isn't doing too well in this cement pot. I think some plants just don't do well in the cement pots for at least a couple of years until they get neutralized. The cement gets neutralized and kind of the pH balance, or pH gets more balanced. So hopefully next year that'll look better. And that is a fern, and that's its first year. Hopefully it'll get better next year. These are some pretty coleuses. These begonias don't seem to be doing that well this year. Last year they were real pretty. Here's a couple of more of my propagated boxwoods. And those ferns back there just are not doing very well at all. And this hydrangea is mop-head hydrangea, big leaf hydrangea. It doesn't seem to be doing. I think it's just the heat of August, I'm hoping. Look at this one. I don't know if these leaves mean that it needs more iron, or if I'm watering it too much. I heard that if the leaves look like that up higher on the plant, that means it needs more iron. If it's down lower on the plant, that means that you're giving it too much water. And it does actually get double sprinkled because it has a drip to it, and then this sprinkler, you can't even see it with the weeds, but this sprinkler head also hits it. Maybe that's the problem. That's an azalea. It's doing really well in the shade. For years I planted let's see, 3 years, the 2 years I tried growing azaleas on this property because we had them in our other property in Claremore, and they just kept dying, but I realized I was burning them up. They need shade. This poor little guy is a Mexican tarragon. Oh gosh, this is a propagated hydrangea, and gosh, maybe it's just not getting enough water. Maybe I need to repot it. I don't know, but it doesn't like this heat, I don't think. I better come over here and put some water in here. Is it ligustrum? Maybe, I think. This is Creepy Jenny. I like what it's doing. I really like what this little ground cover is doing. It's just going right along the path there. I gotta put water in this plant. I don't want it to die. It's like a baby when you propagate them. They're like your babies. Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back in here where it can get watered again. Okay. And that is a juga. I think that's so pretty. That's doing well. This is a lily that I split up and made about 30, I guess it was probably 12 to 15 lilies that I made out of one lily that I got on sale in the clearance section. This is a little candlestick holder that I want this to sit upon, but every time I do, it just falls over because we're so windy here. And then I did get gravel over here in this part, which is nice. I'm starting to plant some grasses over here, look more like weeds. This was a euonymus, and it died off last winter, and we had a really bad ice storm, and it was really for this area, it was like below 9, below freezing, which it never does get like that in this area. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut that out before winter, so I'll know what to trim off. But not much of it left. Hopefully, it was real pretty, but hopefully it'll come back. It just grows in full shade. That's what I like about euonymus. It's kind of like boxwood. You can plant it anywhere. It'll stay small. These can get to be about 15 feet, but it stays small back here because it's in full shade. This is, let's see, I brought my little guy I made up to here because I thought he looked better in this little shade garden. However, with this little guy, it's almost creepy. So I'll probably throw her away this next year. I just don't want to throw her away when she still has plants in her. But I just actually put a real thin layer of cement over the top of a wig head. So it's not like it's some art piece that you can see it's chipped off and how thin I painted that. But yeah, it's just kind of creepy with two heads hanging out in your garden, if you know what I mean. But I really like this guy. I think he's fun. He's like an old man with hair growing, old tree. Anyway, and this bench I made. This is a mold, a bench mold that I bought, and then I just put some boards up with brick and just poured cement, and then I put a little. I had a fondant tool that I used to make this little design, and I like how that turned out. Let me come back here and show you. Well, no, I'm not going to show you my big ugly dirt pile there. But guess you can see from there, it kind of looks pretty. Let me try and get a better shot. There's so much junk. There's a pretty shot, kind of. There we go. And then this pot, okay, wait, first this is, yeah, anyway, so this is a good spot to sit. And this is the view that you see if you're sitting there. And everything just kind of looks tired. It's August. This is my newest monstrosity. I mean, I just don't know if it just, I mean, it's definitely perfectly imperfect, but I think that if I have something growing in it, I'll like it better. But right now it just looks like a huge monstrosity, and I can turn it, you know, when you kind of come from this side, it looks more even, so I could turn that to be the front. But it just looks big. So I don't know, maybe if I got something planted in it. I'm thinking that I bought a Japanese maple for $14.99 and it died, but some suckers grew up from the graft, and so I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is just plant when the winter, you know, in the winter I'll dig it up and maybe put it in this pot, and hopefully it'll do better. It's kind of struggling where it is now. It kind of looks like a weak plant. This is my oak leaf hydrangea. It's doing better than it was. It still has this leaf spot. Hopefully next year it'll do better because we won't get the, hopefully, the water splash because it's got the gravel down. I need to get more gravel. I need just a couple more bags of gravel to finish this, and then I gotta paint or get rid of that guy. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I think I want to plant a hydrangea right there. I think that'll be pretty. That'll hide. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. My one that I propagated, I'll plant it right there. That'll be pretty. And I think it's the one from this one. So, I mean, this is its mama, I do believe. A little piece broke off and I just stuck it in the dirt. Stuck it in the dirt, just stuck it in there. I put a little bit of root hormone on it and just stuck it in a pot of dirt, and then it took hold. So, yep, and you can see where I need to finish off this. I just left that back there without any of this ground cloth because nothing really ever grew back there. So, but yeah, that's my little update.